There has not been one chapter since this arc has started that hasn't been great. And this chapter, chapter 374, has just cemented that, right? Chapter 374 is one of the greatest chapters we've gotten this arc, chapters 374 to 376 to be exact. And these chapters were mind blowing. Though I predicted the outcome of these chapters in my prediction video, thanks for anyone who watches my prediction videos. Um, yeah, I predicted the outcome practically how it would go. Probably the events happened at different times, but it exactly turned out how I expected it to. And but the outcome entirely. That's the thing about Black Clover. You can anticipate, you can predict certain things that are gonna happen, but at the end of the day, once it happens, you're still gonna be blown away. Just by the way Tabata delivers it, right? And so these chapters were absolutely game changing. They were amazing to say the least. 10 out of 10. This chapter was really good. And so yeah, I just want to go over my takes on what was displayed these few chapters, and overall, what is this? What does this mean for Black Clover? What does this mean for the story? And is this the end of the Clover Kingdom as it seems, based on Tabata's writing pattern, right? Because this does seem like we're reaching up to a very climatic moment and something big is gonna happen, right? So let's get into it. Before I get into it, actually, I know in my prediction video I stated that this release would have been the end of the volume. Turns out I was wrong. The next release will be the end of the volume, and that release will be in January. So look forward to that chapter or two in January. That will close out the volume. Those chapters will potentially have that plot twist that I described in my prediction video. If you want to see my plot twist and what I described, what might occur in the last chapter for this volume, go ahead and check out the prediction video. Yeah, but that chapter is going to be released in January, and that's like 2 months away, so we look forward to that. But these 3 chapters were amazing, and I'm glad it was these 3 chapters that are heavily focused on the Morgan fight, because I had my doubts that this fight could have been concluded in 2 chapters, and I was right. So overall, these chapters were amazing. The Paladin Morgan fight is by far the best, and I knew it was going to be the best to be exact. He got the Xenon treatment, with the same thing with the Dark Triad, where like Dante and Vonica got absolutely demolished and humiliated, while Xenon, wasn't his bag the whole time, and his performance was much better. It's the same for Morgan. He has more character behind him, he has more lore behind him, so therefore he has a better fight. So Paladin Morgan's fight was amazing, and I can't stress how much Noct's performance really outshined everyone else's this chapter. Yes, he lost the first fight, but it just goes to show how cool of a character he is to even want to sacrifice his own life to win this fight. And we got many transformations on him, as I predicted. Many transformations. We got Gallus x Phyllis x Canis. That's a 3-way fusion. That's one of the best so far. It's many says it's their best transformation, and I totally agree. And we got many other transformations. He fused all of them, to be honest, to be exact. He fused all the devils, and that was just the 4-way fusions transformation isn't really the best looking. I said the 3-way one is much better, but either way, all of them are really cool. All of them are really visually stunning. I really like it, and it really goes to show how much stronger he gets with them. So his performance was absolutely insane. Ever since Nox debuted in the story, he's been using Monozone a lot. I remember he's the Monument of Atonement. That was his best Monozone that he was going to use to trap and Little Thundermaw. That right there cemented that we're going to get some really good spells from Noct. Mr. Monozone is a new nickname for Noct now, because ever since his debut in the story, his spells are insane, his transformations, but not to mention his monozones were absolutely cool. Like Hunting Grounds of Hell, Dark Prison Hunting Ground, Monument of Atonement, all of them are absolutely good. And this chapter we got to see basically a combo magic monozone, Walpurgis Knight, and honestly that's just insane. And I'm looking forward to see many more monozones from Mr. Monozone himself, Noct. And yeah, but that's Noct for you. And Yami Kijin form obviously hinted throughout the story for the longest while that he has devil origins and all. And else, I liked the way this transformation was revealed, and how strong it was displayed, especially against the likes of the Lucius clone. Like, I mean, he literally one-shotted the Lucius clone, and that's just, that alone just put him in the top 10 strongest in the verse right now. And but yeah, well, Kijin Yami is absolutely insane, and as he compares to Mereoleona, but this is not a video for scaling right now. We'll get into how Kijin Yami scales in comparison to the likes of Mereoleona and probably Kijin Yami is absolutely a demon. This chapter, his strength is overwhelming to take down the likes of Lucius clone, and it's just insane. And it really goes to show how much stronger Paladin Morgan is, because in comparison to the Lucius clone. But that's another discussion, and that leads into Morgan being the strongest paladin. I said it multiple times that he is the strongest paladin. The evidence was right there. Him being binded to Lucifugus, right? It really cemented that, alright, this guy, we're gonna watch out for him, because his dark magic and light magic is one of the best combinations yet we've seen. And just the premise of him being one of the strongest holy knights back in his day, combined with him being binded with Lucifugus of all devils, right there you could just know that he was gonna be the strongest paladin, and it was confirmed in this chapter. We got a Kijin Yami who one-shotted a Lucius clone, that was giving all the captains a run for their money, that was giving a run for his money, right? And that combined with a Zeten Ichika and a 4-way Devil Union knocked with anti-magic, and yet they still struggled against Paladin Morgan, who, mind you, haven't even casted a single spell the whole fight. So that right there just baffles me entirely. But at the end of the day, they eventually won the fight due to the fact of Morgan kind of offing himself with light magic, because like it states, the brighter the light, the deeper the shadow it casts. And just fortunately for him, he's fighting against Noct, and he dwells in the shadows, and with that, Noct was able to pull off one of the most coldest attacks in the whole series, and launched this sword attack right up through the gut of Morgan. And it's honestly cold when you look at Noct's face in that panel. It's just really cold, honestly, and it just goes to show how menacing shadow magic is. And this attack could mean many things. I don't know if it's going to be able to take down Morgan. After all, the paladins have really strong regenerative ability, so I don't know if this is enough to take him down. We don't know if he has much anti-magic reserve left in that attack. I don't know if it's finished. It wasn't stated that his anti-magic reserve were finished, so we don't know if it's enough to take down this paladin. But we will find out come January what is the result of this fight. But the final attack overall was really good, and I'm glad it was Noct was the one to take down his brother Morgan. So this fight, these chapters, everything about it was absolutely insane, from the fight choreography, from the display of Mana Zone, and everything. What I like to get into is this the last paladin fight, and is Lucius really losing this invasion? Right, those are the real questions to ask right now. And many like to think that the paladins are not over and that they have a much better role to play, but I like to think that they've played their role. They've allowed these characters to grow and strengthen their abilities, and overall their performance was really good, and the way they went out seems to me like a fitting end. I don't see them coming back, and if they do come back, it's for show, right? And from there on out, something else will happen to them. And with them coming back, I think maybe what could happen is that we get a new batch of paladins. Maybe once they're defeated, the binding to them is released, and from there on out, Lucius can just incarnate them into new paladins entirely, and from there on out, we can get a new set of characters, potentially Paladin Lichta, Paladin Zara, and Paladin someone else, who knows. Even the Dark Triad could return, and I think that's setting up somewhere along the lines. And that even leads back in the next question: is Lucius really losing? The Clover Kingdom is in complete shambles. right? There's no way they're gonna be able to restore that in like a year or so. So the Clover Kingdom is absolutely in shambles right now, and the captains are on the brink. They're surpassing their limits and everything, and that's just like what we want to believe, that the Clover Kingdom is gonna win by the end of this. But is Lucius really losing? That's the real question here. With the defeat of these paladins, what's gonna happen to their power? Is it gonna be indirectly just go back to Lucius and make him much stronger? Is he just gonna create new paladins, revive them, bring back his siblings, and from there on out, it's game over? It's game over. If he has the ability to just bring back more paladins or revive them all, it's game over. There's nowhere they're gonna go through a next round of fighting these paladins and not lose, right? So something is stirring up right now, and with the release of the chapter in January, we will get to see the result of all these paladins getting defeated and what's gonna happen after. So the upcoming turn of events coming in January, it's gonna be mind blowing. So without further ado, let me know in the comments down below how you guys feel about this chapter. Talk to me about Nox's performance, Kijin Yami, and I forgot to even mention Ichika. Ichika was absolutely amazing this chapter with her Black Star spell. And yeah, let me know guys how you feel about this chapter, these chapters, and what do you think is gonna happen as a result of all these paladins being defeated? How do you describe Paladin Morgan's defeat? Talk to me guys, and in the comments down below, let me know. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and peace out. I'll see you guys in another one.